All right, Cal. I'm gonna hit live here. I'm not waiting. You can come up and say hi when you're ready, okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Hello. Good afternoon. Good day, if it's not a little longer afternoon for you. Welcome in. Just getting started today, doing was over at the sink a few minutes ago, cleaning up a whole bunch of cat food containers. So that was fun. Going to be doing a little prep this afternoon for Christmas dinner, for dinner on Sunday. I'm going to be doing two desserts or two snacks rather, and uh, one lasagna, a make ahead lasagna. So that's what's on the menu today. And in addition, I'm also going to make dinner for the family, which is going to be tortellini, just like frozen cheese tortellini and sauce from a jar. So I said, anytime you guys want dinner, just give me a little heads up and we'll have dinner. So I'm going to boil some water on the stove here and going to get just leave that on simmer until they're ready to eat. Drop the tortellini in it and call it a day. So that said, I'm going to get started doing actual kitchen stuff today. Um, Let me put my recycling bin away. I was cleaning out cat food cans right before stream, like right before. That's what I was doing right before moving the starting screen off. So, a can full of trash, recycling bin full of cat food cans. Anyway, if you're hanging out, hello, welcome. If you can hear me, that's great. I'm going to do three different recipes today. So they come from three different places. One of them is from a blog called Baker by Nature. That's the cookies. And the lasagna is coming from the New Best Recipe. It's a pretty standard cookbook around here, for me anyway. And then the sweet potato thing that I'm making is coming from this book, which is called Season by Nick Sharma. It is, he's the author of the blog A Brown Table. Um, and this is something I've made before and turned out really well. So I was pretty happy with it. Anyway, we're going to get started today. Here's the order. We're going to do this sweet potato uh, bebinka first, and then we're going to do the lasagna assembly, and then we'll make cookies because I made the cookies. I made the cookie dough last night, and I made the sweet potato for this last night as well. Last night, maybe the night before. No, last night. I don't even remember. Um, okay, so let's read this recipe completely first. It tells me we want to make the sweet potatoes, which we did. Peel them, discard them, got it. Puree the flesh in a food processor. That we did not do. So let's do that. First thing, you have to get out of the food processor and get sweet potato into there. I already measured it out, so I've got two, basically two. Uh, I needed 400 grams of sweet potato. I have 800, so we're gonna do that. Um, I'm actually wondering now. No, you know what? I can't double this recipe because I only have one can of coconut milk. So never mind. We're gonna jettison that train of thought. Um, okay, cool. Let's get out the sweet potato. So the other thing I want to get out is this cookie dough. Is this was yesterday? I made this. It's chilled. It's needs to come up to room temperature, or it needs to come out from the fridge and have a little bit of the cold off of it. So let's get this sweet potato in here. If I recall correctly from making this last time, you really do want this to be very smooth, the sweet potato, because this is sort of like a cheesecake, except there's no cheese in it. Uh, but like the consistency of it. So having sweet potato threads is really not ideal. So let's puree this in the sweet potato pureer here. And it says puree until smooth. So smooth. Puree the flesh in a food processor. It actually doesn't say it's smooth, but it's going to be smooth. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I know that I need. Okay, in a large, the next step in for this is in a large bowl, mix all the ingredients together. So let's measure out 400 grams of sweet potato in a large bowl first. That way we'll just have that, and then I can put the rest back in the container. Use this guy. Perfect. Yeah, this puree is excellent. That's two, three, 336, 392, just a little more, 408. Perfect. Okay, so this is all the sweet potato I need. I'll put the rest of that in a little container and I'll use that for something else. I'll end up repurposing that for something. But let's sit this over here for now. I'm gonna use that scale again momentarily to weigh out the rest of our ingredients. So today was definitely a chill day. I usually don't start streaming until about 5:20 or so Eastern Standard Time. Right now, for me, it is 16:57. So we are just about to hit 5 p.m. So I'm actually online a little earlier today, and it seemed like there was seemed like a slow day in food and drink on Twitch. I didn't see too many people on, which is good. It means a lot of people are taking time off. Um, but that uh, I hope that today has been a good one. If you're hearing me, for you anyway. It has been a good one for me. Slow is good. Slow is a welcome change from what the days are usually like. Um, actually got out today on my own a little bit, like out of the house, which is not normal. Uh, like I mean, like to run errands by myself. I usually have Calvin with me, my son Calvin, um, for like most things, and I'm usually like picking him up from school and dropping him off at school and on a normal day, but today he's had school from home. We did virtual school today, so it was a very slow day for all of us. Yeah. Okay, so this is step one complete. Step two. Now I don't need this food processor anymore. I barely needed it for this recipe. I should have done this last night and saved the step today, but I did not. This is fine. Okay, let's move this off to the side because I'm not going to need that again. Actually, I'm just going to put this back in the cabinet where it goes and avoid having to do that. Like, okay. So next step here is going to be to get the pan ready because now I have to layer all this stuff in with the sweet potato. This is a really pretty straightforward recipe. It is one of my favorite types, which is mix everything in a bowl and put it in a tray. Couldn't be easier unless I had you mix it in the pan. What's today's date? It's the 23rd, obviously. Okay, this is sweet potato. Now, let's figure out what the pan situation is. Line the bottom of a 9-inch round baking pan with 2-inch sides with parchment paper and grease lightly with butter. Okay, that's easy. And this, I think I need a pair of scissors. Oh, uh-oh, the scissors are gone. You can tell it's gift wrapping season. The scissors are not there. Now, I know there's a good, I know there's a good way to do this. That is, uh, where you slice up the sides of this thing. But I do not know what that is. So let's do this. It's going to do this. Going to get two pieces of parchment paper. Make sure they fit in here. We're going to put them going one, like put them crossways in here to make sure they fit. And then I'll grease them this on the counter flat and then work them back in here so that they are, yeah, so that they are easy to get the butter on. Okay. You sweat. I'm glad to be an inspiration. What kind of cookies did you make? The ones I'm making are just the continuation of last night's cookies. Butter pecan. All right. Chocolate chip. Perfect. It's a classic. That's a classic. What recipe did you use? Or is this like a song? Is it a family recipe? Oh, espresso powder sounds great. A little bit of chocolate, uh, or a little bit of coffee in cookies. It's always really nice. Feels kind of decadent. Okay. So this is going to be good. Okay. Just the one I have in my head. That's perfect. Yeah. Chocolate chip, having a good chocolate chip cookie base is amazing. I only recently found a recipe that I really liked. That turned out cookies the size and shape and uh, chewiness that I like. I don't know. I do you have a specific type of chocolate chip cookie that you like? Some people are like, I'm gonna die on the hill of it's gotta be chewy. I I just like all cookies. I'm okay if it's chewy or if it's crispy or whatever. Just feed me the cookie. I am buttering my parchment paper here that I'm lining the pan with. Um, I put this in and now I'm just flattening it on the counter so it's easy to butter. And then I'll put it back in and re-push it in there. Change the add-in, same base for most of the cookies. It sounds good. Large quantities for sure. It's always fun to do production. Chapstick Green, welcome in. Um, chocolate chip, peanut butter, shortbread. Oh, I love shortbread cookies. Butter tarts, two kinds of pound cake. Now those aren't cookies, but I'll allow it. No bake cookies, sugar cookies, cherry slices, cherry clusters, Nanimo bars, nougat. Y'all been busy. That's a lot. How many days? Is that a normal volume of things to make such chicken for you guys? That sounds like a lot. They yeah, suck as a company. Yeah. Uh corporate responsibility is a really interesting uh, thing these days. I'm greasing this pan too because I anything that like seeps out of here, I don't want to stick in the pan. So I'm gonna grease the parchment and the pan and everything will just get butter on it forever. I like batch making things, guys, and I have to tell you both, I had to talk myself out of making a double recipe of these cookies because like that's what I always do. But I realized how easy they were to make, and I was like, obviously I should make a double. But I declined to do that. I just made a single batch. It said it made 16 large cookies, so that felt like enough. Um, that's right. Your ma is it? I think you've mentioned the pastry chef piece, the familial pastry situation, and that is amazing. In in Philly here, we have bakery called Isgros, Isgrs, and people line up starting on this. People line up starting. I think they have Christmas Eve is the big day, and people line up for their bakery starting today. Like they were Instagramming pictures of people in line at the bakery already today in chairs. It's like they're like waiting for concert tickets. It's pretty wild. They got really good cannolis. I'm not waiting in line for them, but uh, go with what makes you happy. Ooh, yeah, that's smart. That's super smart. I have uh I have the desire to do that, but I don't have either an air fryer or a mini oven. But I love that concept. I love the like because cookies are something that you kind of have to make in a batch if you're not prepared like you are, clearly. And that is like, of course, you're not making like one or two cookies for yourself for dessert. There's a cookbook I have that has a recipe for, I think it's like four cookies. I think the recipe is called like four good cookies or something like that, which I thought was pretty clever. But TBH, I've never made them that in that volume. Okay, cake pan is set. Let's actually turn the different camera on. I forgot. Peanut butter marshmallow squares, and vanilla wreath cookies and brownies. Gosh darn, I love it. Mm. I'm very much chapstick me. I'm into this. I'm into this concept of like just leaning in on the cookies. Peach Squatch, I do. I have three. Three cast iron pans, a 9, a 12, and a 5, I think. They're the best. Uh, I've definitely made brownies in there before. I really like anything baked in that cast iron pan. Cornbread too. That's smart. You've broken the algorithm. That's a very smart thing to do. I love that. Brookies, right? The perfect gift to give. I see that. I can definitely empathize with that. Um, one of the people that I follow on Insta, um, the co-host of the podcast that I talk about on here all the time, had a reel today where she was saying cookies are my ministry. And it's not in a religious context, but just like I'm going to make cookies for everybody for I'm going to bake things for people for the holidays, and I love that. I love I want to be that person, but I don't. I like yeah, I want to be that person, but I'm not quite there. And mainly because I give a lot of people gifts. Um, but I just like can't get it together early enough in the season in time. Like the 2 days before Christmas is when I'm like into prep. You do have that little bit left over, Swatch. And the challenge is deciding whether to throw that little bit in with another bigger bit and make like a big thing, or getting it to be its own like teeny tiny cookie. Yeah, holidays is crazy. Holidays is very wild. I worked 1 year in a bakery that did like holiday production, and they did production for the two big things, the Philadelphia Flower Show and the Christmas holiday, and it was just like it was intense. That's a lot. That sounds good. Sounds like I would be into that. If I knew that that was my job, I would be like, all right, let's go. Mm, clever. Chef's a queen. You're going to be you're going to be the solution engineer here for all of these baking questions. Um, okay, put the pan on a baking sheet, it says. You got it. I will put the pan on a baking sheet. Pan is on a baking. Okay. Um, in a large bowl, whisk together the cooled roasted sweet potato puree. Yes. Eggs. So everything's getting whisked together in this bowl. And this actually seems like it's going to be a lot. So I think this will be fine. I think this bowl will be fine, but I'm hoping I could have, thinking I could have used a larger bowl. The biggest bowl, in fact. Yes. Chocolate cookie spoons and chocolate mousse sounds amazing. To taste the chocolate cookies. Tis the season. Tis the season. Okay, so I'm putting together the sweet potato puree or eggs, 6 large eggs. One, Gaussier. One, two, it's going to go color. Three, four. Oh, crack the shell. Four, five, and six. Okay, sweet potato puree, eggs. This calls for Jaggery, which Jaggery or Muscovado sugar, which I do not have. It's basically sugar mixed with molasses as like a really like rudimentary description. So I'm going to use dark brown sugar this time because it's the most equivalent thing that I have in the kitchen. Um, Chef's Queen, that's a good point, and I think that's where Beastwatch was saying with their like I just have a base. Like there's the dough, like yeah, the dough for a chocolate chip cookie. I mean, you could add whatever to that. Same thing with a sugar cookie. I recently had one of my favorite cookbooks recently that I've been using. 200 grams sugar. 200 grams. Am I teared? I'm teared. Okay. Um, one of the my cookbooks that I used the most this past year is called Repertoire, which is sort of like what you're talking about. It's this one, this book. Um, but it looks to create a repertoire, meaning like these are just the group of skills that I have in the kitchen, and one of them in there is just like a chocolate chip cookie recipe, like a super simple cookie recipe. And she talks about how you can make it into different things and different versions, and it is very uh, worthwhile knowing that. I mentioned that I had a chocolate chip recipe that I recently found that I loved. It was from this book. It's in the Discord, I believe. Exclamation point Discord in the recipes channel. But I don't bake that often. Um, I do enjoy it sometimes. Um, 600 milliliters of maple syrup, 60 milliliters, 60 milliliters. That's about 2 ounces, quarter cup. Exactly, chapstick queen. Exactly. Uh, 2 ounces. Yes. I, for example, wear black Levi's every day of my life and build my outfits around that. Outfit meaning like I figure out what t-shirt I'm going to put on that day. Maple syrup, a teaspoon of nutmeg. What do we have? Like 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Hold on, I am putting nutmeg in here, right? Nutmeg, turmeric, and salt. And butter. Okay. So 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, a half a teaspoon. Oh, wait, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. This is a half teaspoon measure. There we go. Hmm. Majority of ingredients we need for the majority of baking. Yes, I totally agree. I keep all of my baking stuff in the same cabinet, and it's so helpful. It's like, oh, we're baking something, just grab everything on the bottom shelf. You're probably going to use it. And I love that. Okay. I also have butter. I'm supposed to have butter, melted butter. AJ, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it and welcome in. 85 grams of butter. What does that mean? I love this. It says this one gives you both the butter or both the weight and the measure, the standard measurement. But 85 grams of butter is about 6 tablespoons. Doing good. The chemistry covered for sure. It's very it's just if you bake at all, like you kind of have to have all your stuff in the same spot. Like if you show me a kitchen where the flour is not next to like the sugar, like the big bags of flour and sugar, and they're like not near each other or in the same cabinet, that is a kitchen of someone who probably doesn't cook very often or doesn't bake at all. Flour, sugar, baking soda, power, yeah, all that. Yeah, piece of I imagine if you bake more often, then your additives might be a little bit more uh numerous. Mine are not. I'm very I just kind of have the basics, chocolate chips, whatever. Chocolate chips, marshmallows, coconut, ginger, candied ginger, some nonpareils, stuff like that. Nothing wild. Raisins. Raisins. That's what we've got. Oh, and salt. Forgot the salt. Can't forget the salt. How much salt? Quarter teaspoon salt. Fine sea salt, it says. Well, we don't have fine sea salt. We have kosher salt. So we're going to use that much kosher salt. Um, so we mix all this together plus the butter that I'm melting over here. Forgot to melt this on the stove earlier, and now we have to wait for butter to melt, which is fine. We're not in a rush. Today is a chill day. I'm not making dinner, but everybody's in the house. We're all doing various things today. Calvin's upstairs coloring right now. Gwen is, I don't know, somewhere else in the house. I am in the kitchen. And dinner tonight for us is going to be tortellini, just like frozen tortellini in the pot with some sauce from a jar. So super straightforward. I told them, hey, when you're hungry, you let me know. Give me like 10 minutes and you can have dinner. Um, AJ, I have a question for you. How is your new how is your new employment? Are you happy there? And do you like it? Like are you like good? I've jumped and I'm happy here? Or are you do you have any regrets? I'm curious. I hope it's satisfying. Um, okay, these spots, chocolate chips, Reese's chips. Oh, do you like those little Reese's cups, like the little mini cups? Calvin loves those. He fits walnuts, almonds, coconut, regular chocolate powder. Okay. Oh yeah, cocoa powder. I forgot about that. I have that too. And dark chocolate. I forget what's in there. The nuts, okay, I will say the nuts are about the only thing I don't keep in the baking cabinet because I cook with them all the time in like regular cooking. So I actually use them more often, and I don't want to have to go over to the baking cabinet all the time. I buy shit when it goes to shell, and then it gets very yes. And then there's like this much of it left in the bag, and you have a bag with like two slices of dried mango in it, and you're like, what is happening? Why? The job itself, but they fired my boss 2 weeks in. Oh, yikes. That sounds chaotic. Uh Now you've adjusted. Okay, I can understand that. Yeah, I imagine it to be unsettling. Like you get introduced to the person and they're like, "Hi, here's all the things, and you can rely on me for all this stuff." And then they're like, "Nah, peace." Just kidding. Um, that sucks. I'm glad you're adjusting. I'm glad it's like okay. Or I'm glad that it's at least like okay, okay. Waves happened and now we're settled. I can appreciate that. Yeah, Goosewatch nuts for me are more, yeah, definitely salady and snacky. I candy pecans a lot, and that's my like one of my favorite snacks. Yeah, oatmeal for sure. I always kind of find it amusing people who put granola on their oatmeal. I'm like, it's the same thing, right? Um, Traditions Christmas dinner. Do we celebrate? Should make trail mix. Agreed. Always blanket statement. I should make trail mix or Chex Mix or Muddy Buddies or any of that stuff that you can just dip your hand in until it's gone and then you feel bad about eating the whole thing. AJ, do we celebrate? Well, we give gifts. We definitely we definitely give gifts. Um, we do. I usually try to do dinner something easy. Different stuff. I like making different stuff, but I also have realized that I don't want to do any cooking on Christmas Day. So last year, 2 years ago, we had lasagna. Last year, we had stuffed shells. This year, going to have lasagna because that was easy. Um, Shayna, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Um, Congrats. Be safe. Be safe getting home. Um, we do a lot of Christmas. So Christmas is usually this. We have a Dutch baby in the morning with like some fruit and homemade whipped cream. Calvin can come down and open his stocking in the morning. Before we get up, we have breakfast, then we open presents, and then we lunch is just kind of whatever, and then we eat an early dinner. Uh, Always something that is just like I make way ahead and just throw it in the oven. This year, the bulk that I'm making two things on Christmas Day. One of them is garlic bread, and the other one is a small salad. So super easy. Um, Lasagna was one of the things that is so easy to make, and and I even want to do like more thorough. I'm always like, oh, let me like make this successive. Like, let me be a little extra here and like do the noodles and do the sauce and do, simmer the sauce for 6 hours and make it just perfect. Like, let's use veal and all this. I'm making the recipe I'm making is one with instant no bake noodles and a sauce that I made last night. Uh, because it's just I want it to be simple. That's all it is. I just want it to be as easy as possible. Um, because I don't want to do anything on Christmas. I don't want to cook. I mean, the sauce is good. It is simple. It's not like 6 hour simmer grandmother like wooden spoon simple. Or not simple. It's not like that good, but it's good. It's serviceable. It's a serviceable sauce, and it'll be better having made it a day ahead of time. Um, so that's good. Oh, yeah. Lasagna is one of the few pastas. Okay. The flat, yeah, the flat lasagna noodles are just like flat noodles. That's easy. The sauce I can do. I mean, we did the sauce on stream last night and it was pretty straightforward, but I think it just depends on like what you want to do. What's your tolerance? Do you want to do you want to stay in the kitchen all day or do you just want to like get the sauce done? I just want to get the sauce done. I want to stay in the kitchen all day, but not over lasagna. That would be a fun exercise though, making like super good sauce, uh, pulling your own cheese and making your own pasta. That would be That would be, you know what? That would be like an 8 hour stream. That would be amazing. I'm not going to do that, but that would be amazing. Yeah, make your own ricotta, make your own mozzarella, make your own noodles, make your sauce. Perhaps you can craft the baking dish out of clay yourself. That would be a that would be a really fun stream. That would be actually that would be a super fun stream to try to do. Yeah, AJ, there you go. Excellent. I don't need to do it. There's a VOD. Uh, okay, I need to 6 tablespoons of butter melted. Okay. So let's do this. I'm gonna have to whisk all of this together. So let me whisk this together first and have the eggs incorporated because this butter's a little warm still, so I don't want it to temper the eggs at all. Not temper. I don't want it to cook the eggs. They're not tempered. They would be cooked. Um, I believe that it would be really long. It would be fun. I would definitely do. I would enjoy doing that. That would be like an all day Sunday, like a let's get up and cook day. Which honestly, those are some of my favorite days. That was like Thanksgiving this year. Just a let's get up and cook. Enjoy my breakfast beverage while writing out my to-do list or confirming my to-do list. The cheeses, I've never made cheese before, so the cheese would be fascinating. Moz does take a lot of patience, and I've seen Salty. Hey, it's me, Salty, Twitch streamer, food and drink streamer. I've seen Salty make cheese on stream. He did a mozzarella specific stream one day, and it was really interesting. He's also a professional chef and did like all had all of his meats together. It was like perfect. His stream's great. I love he's his stream. He's very prepared. You definitely don't ever want to go back. I feel that. Add the coconut milk and flour and whisk until the mixture is smooth with no visible streaks of flour. Got it. Okay, so we're adding coconut milk to this, and I'm just cleaning off the lid and putting this in the recycle. So we're gonna add a little bit of coconut milk to this. AJ, yeah, it definitely is. I chat there because I have stuff to say. um, but yeah, I lurk there. There's a couple streams I lurk on during the day. Who else are your daytime lurking streams, AJ? Who do you lurk on during the day? I bet we're in some of the same streams. I enjoy lurking in Mrs. Ruby's stream. Okay. I'm just pouring this can of coconut milk in here as if I'm supposed to add the whole thing. I am, but I didn't confirm that. You're the only food stream I am in. Well, that's awesome. I love to. I'm honored. Chaos Kitchen, who's also in stream, is also a food and drink streamer. F, FYI. Um, I follow Mrs. Ruby during the day because I appreciate her parenting. She has 5 kids, which is 4 more than I do, and just generally uh, happy to watch her. I appreciate her. I appreciate so much about her content beyond the food. Um, German friends that stream games. Got it. Okay. The salty stream for sure. He's been streaming at like 5 p.m. recently this past week. Um, which I'm like, damn it, I can't watch you. And 30. Okay. That's really funny. I've never I know who you mean. I know who you mean. Um, yeah, I watch Dana too sometimes. Dana streams a lot of variety during the day. I tend towards like only food and drink a lot of the times. I also watch Patrick Richards music, who's another fellow Philadelphian um, who streams music. But I always tune into Mrs. Ruby. I love her channel. Um, Yeah, and I think Mrs. Ruby is one of the types of folks who like we certainly have some differences in the way this in whatever. We certainly have just like differences in the way we were raised and how we are raising kids, but I really appreciate her approach just as like a human. And so I enjoy watching her stream to get some of those tidbits. That's usually when I'm chatting in her stream. She's like talking about parenting stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm into that. 140 grams of all-purpose flour. We did raid into him once. Yeah, Patrick Richards. He is another Philadelphian, and he streams for like 8 to 10 hours at a time. He's usually online in the middle of the day. Um, and I really, I just, I stream in, I tune into Patrick when I know that I can't talk. When I'm like, I cannot chat. I can't like get distracted here. I need to like keep my head down. Add the coconut milk and flour. Whisk until the mixture has no visible streaks of flour. Got it. Okay, no visible streaks of flour. They are doing something right, Shayna. I definitely agree. I think I love that. I love just how like open she is on stream about her about the parenting aspects of things, and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna go put my kid down for a nap. Like, enjoy me not streaming for like 20 minutes. Like it's very in the moment, which I really appreciate. Um, Other streamers follow during the day. I like Ice Cream Posse when he's streaming. I like watching Ricer Man in the chip shop. The Only Deaf Guy, I watch his stream. I actually watched Connor stream a lot as well. Because it's just like background. And then something interesting happens and you're like, now you're tuned in, and it's just like I enjoy it. Okay. Still on the baking sheet. Pour the batter into the prepared cake pan and put the pan still in the baking sheet in the oven. Bake for 55 to 60 minutes, rotating the baking sheet halfway through. Okay, got it. Oh, yes, Shayna. Yes, yes. I love that one. I also really love watching Hitch on the hitchhiking. He does the hitchhiking when he's in a time zone that supports me watching. He's not currently, he's in Japan, or at least he was in Japan. Okay. A great Spotify playlist. Yes. Yeah, the music is always good. Okay, so we're pouring this into the prepared pan. Hold on, I need my spatula. Um, yeah, those are a lot of the daytime folks I watch. I know there's some that I'm missing. I always watch, I leave, if I want something to just like totally be streaming but not have any distractions at all, Montana Max Wildlife is a really good one. I love that one. They just changed their name. I think it's like Ozark Mountain Sanctuary now. Um, okay. Did I turn the oven on the right temperature? 350. 350. Okay. 55 to 60 minutes. Okay. We are in. Sweet potato babinka is in the oven. Let's set a timer for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So when this timer goes off, we will uh, rotating the baking sheet halfway through. So when the timer goes off, we rotate and then we wait 30 more minutes. And then this is going to be done. We're not eating this tonight. Um, we're not eating this tonight. He needs to get back on stream and get back to barbecuing again. Agreed. Montana Max was one of the first Twitch food and drink streamers I actually watched. Um, Shayna, are you a mod on there? You are. Of course you are. I've seen you in the chat before. I leave that stream up a lot, like all the time. There was one time that I was like, I'm gonna get the most Ranger coins this month, and I I got like sixth, and I was like, nah, there's people way more dedicated to it than this. There's people who don't have to turn their laptop off at the end of the day. Okay, so this is good. We are done. Babinka is in the oven. Moving on to the lasagna. Lasagna is from this book, the new best recipe, as it purports to be. I already did the first part of this, but I think I need to do. I think I need to heat up that sauce. I believe I'm supposed to heat the sauce up. The sauce can be cooled, covered, and refrigerated for 2 days. Reheat before assembling lasagna. Got it. The Cardinals have been crazy. Nice. Congrats. Um, I love it. I love that channel. It's very relaxing to watch, like extremely relaxing to watch. And I can't say how amazing that is. Okay, so we're gonna reheat this sauce slowly while we get the rest of this together. All right. The sauce smells better today than it smelled yesterday. So that's a good sign. Um, my my nose tells me this has come together much more nicely. Which is amazing. I'm very thankful for that. Um, Celtic Ravina, I think back to your point about the barbecuing, I feel like they started streaming on a different. I believe they are streaming different platforms now. I saw that they were doing some classes on Kitch, and I think they might be on YouTube too. Sheena might know better than I, but um, I'm not sure what their uh, Twitch futures are or what their Twitch next steps are. Ooh, sauce is a little spicy. I forgot I added red pepper to that. It's good. It's got a little bit of zing to it, which is good because it's not too much and it's going to be perfect when you put it next to all that cheese. Okay, come on, get off the spatula, jerk. Okay, I'm going to need both of these spatulas again in a few minutes here, I think. So let me just rinse these off real quick while I'm over at the sink. Okay, so this needs to go on. Gotcha, Shayna. Okay. Yeah, I know that they announced a while ago they stopped being a Twitch affiliate. So I know that was I believe that was to be able to multi-stream and have a different setup for their streaming. I don't know. I did not ask them. I didn't ask them. I just follow along the threads of news that I come across, you know? You know how it is. Getting a lid. It's hot down here. All right, put that on there. You know, I'm gonna move this back on the simmer burner. Is this hot? Yeah. Okay. You move my pasta water up with this guy on the simmer burner, and we'll just put some gentle heat on that while we're getting the rest of this stuff together. I don't need my flour, my brown sugar, or my spices anymore. So let's put these away and get those off of my space here. Um, speaking of speaking of other networks, MySpace, anybody? No? Okay. Hearty meat lasagna. We've moved on. Recipe number 2. What are we at? Are we at an hour? We're at an hour. Good. For the sauce. Sauce is done. Reheating. Okay, for the layers, mix the ricotta, 1 cup of the Parmesan. Okay, so I need to do some prep, some actual like prep here. I need to grate some cheese. I need to cut some basil. So let's do prep first. All that stuff is going into the same bowl though, so I can prep it into one bowl. Okay, for the ricotta, I need 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta. So I know I have ricotta in here. Here we go. 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta cheese. Is this 15 ounces? It sure is. Perfect. I love these little containers. This is like a perfect size for something. I'll keep this container. Okay. Um, let's just get this out of here. Um, all right. Just needed to get it started. Perfect. Container size matching the recipe is one of those things that I think, if you're like a recipe developer and you use a container, if your recipe calls for like 12 ounces of ricotta and your recipe, and you know that the standard size in the ricotta container is 15, you are evil. You're just pure evil. And you should not be allowed to write recipes. Just saying. Although, let me like also, I don't think the food industry should get to dictate container size. I think should be able to buy things in bulk in your own containers. But here we are. Standard size is 15 ounces. Make the thing 15 ounce. Make your recipe use 15 ounces or half of that. 7.5 ounces would also be acceptable. I need 2.5 ounces of Parmesan cheese, freshly grated. Okay, Parmesan cheese. Let's get the Parmesan. How much Parmesan? 2.5 ounces. That's a lot of Parmesan. And you use it all anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're gonna like come on. Don't mess with me here, you know? I'm definitely gonna need this mozzarella, so let's just get that out now. Okay. Parmesan cheese. This is straight up Parmesan. Because I'm using this uh new best recipe, I always like this is one of those ones where I make the recipe just like it says because one, I've done that before and it's good, but two, they have a whole section in here about why they're using Parmesan instead of um, like Parmesan Reggiano or like other stuff. And it's like, okay, you justified. All right, I'll take it. We'll use the cheese that you say. Okay. Let's just cut a piece of this off here. I don't want to hold this whole block in my hand. Grating it, that would be annoying. Okay. And I need 2.5 ounces of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Need two. Okay. This is not going to be quite enough for this, but it'll get us a little bit. It'll get us started. Okay. So just gonna grate some cheese now. I do love lasagna and just like the multiple cheeses inside. It's so it's so like decadent to eat. It feels so satisfying. I feel like Gwen told me that she and Calvin might watch a Christmas movie later today. I wonder if she told that to him. He's coming downstairs, so unclear. Yes, Calvin.
Paint pen things.
A black paint pen?
This Sophie isn't interesting.
Too thick. You are looking for one of these. This is not a paint pen, but you may use this if you want.
This one,
Okay. Are you going to leave the Sharpie down here, or are you taking the Sharpie back upstairs? Okay. Have you looked at the surface underneath of what you're coloring when you're using a Sharpie to see if it's bleeding through? I mean, like if you're using a piece of paper and you're coloring on it with a Sharpie, can you just make sure that what surface it's sitting on is not getting black? Sharpie marker on it, that nothing except the Sharpie itself is getting, or except the paper itself is getting Sharpie? Okay, thank you. Oh, right, the flash coloring book. Got it. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm just worried when I see you come downstairs with a Sharpie in your hands, you know? It's a fair, I think that's a fair worry when you see your 7-year-old just carrying around a Sharpie. You're like, what have you been doing? I haven't seen you in an hour. What's going on there? He's fine. He's doing just fine. Okay, we are at over an ounce now, so this is good. Do I need more ounces of this? Oh, I need 1 cup of the Parmesan. Okay, so I need less than that's, you know what? I need 1 cup of this, which is like most of the 2.5 ounces. So let's see where we get when we're finished with this block of cheese that I'm having in my hand here. Because it says that you should set 1/4 cup of this aside, and then you sprinkle the top of it with the 1/4 cup of Parmesan, which I actually don't need to do today. I can do that on Sunday, but we'll grate the Parmesan today to make it easier for sure. Okay, so I'm at 1.78 ounces, almost there. Um, does this have like a weight measurement on it? A 1 inch cube is the serving size. No, it's not by weight. Never mind. That's too funny. I'd like a 1 inch cube of Parmesan. Sounds good. Good little snack. I think that is a good serving size. Not one of them, though, like 5 of them. Okay. This is getting a bit small to hold on to. I need to actually sit this down so I can get more control here. Um, yeah, the last time I made this lasagna was several years ago. I made it when Gwen's family was in town for Calvin's birthday, maybe. I know I made it for dinner for Christmas 2 years ago, because that's what my notebook tells me. And I know I've made it at least one other time, so I think this is the third time I'm making this. And I don't have. It's one of the few recipes that I have no notes in the book about. There's just nothing. There's no like, hey, do this differently or any of that. It's just standard recipe in there. All right, this is 2.4 ounces. That's fine. We're good. I don't need any more than that. Let's grate some more of this into a little cup though. And that way I need some of it for the top. And I'll have a bit for the top. It's supposed to save 1/4 cup, which is hopefully about what I'm about to scrape off. Um, jotting down the pans and bowls is a good one. Like, oh, large bowl was too small. Yeah, I do hate that, Shana. That's one of my big pet peeves is having to like double your dishes because of a mistake like that. It is very frustrating. I agree. That's a good idea to write down the pans, though. I can't come up with it off the top of my head right now, but I know there's a dish or two out there that I've made multiple times that I mess up the size of the pan every time I make it. That is for sure. Ooh, pot pie. Oh, Shannon, I was thinking about pot pie for Christmas this year. That was the alternate. It was either going to be lasagna or pot pie, and I decided lasagna would be easier to make ahead of time. Both pot pie and lasagna, though, better on day two. Um, I hear bubbling back there, and I think it's my sauce. So I'm going to check that in just a moment here. Shepherd's pie was the third thing that I had in mind. It was literally I'll show I could show you in my notebook. I wrote down pot pie, shepherd's pie, lasagna. Those are the three things that I was thinking about making for Christmas this year. I put it to the family and they wanted lasagna, so that's what we're having. I've made pot pie before. If I was going to do pot pie, I would do individual pot pies in ramekins. I have those like 5 inch or whatever, they might be 8 inch ramekins. Um, and they're really straightforward to do the mix and then the dough mixes like so nicely, or the dough goes so nicely in them. Um, and you kind of par bake them and then have it be like an individual pot pie, which is perfect. Okay, this is for tomorrow. We have our cheese ready to go. Um, this Parmesan is needs to get wrapped back up. So we've done the Parmesan. Um, I have a good recipe for the mix. I'm sure that I do. I know that I do. I don't recall what it is. If you send me a message in the recipes channel in Discord, I'll dig it out for you because I know exactly when I made it. Um, and I know exactly how to find the recipe that I used, which was really good. I always end up making chicken pot pie. So um, I know that the recipe that I have calls for chicken. If I was going to do shepherd's pie this year, I was going to do lamb, but I didn't get enough. There weren't enough votes to do shepherd's pie for Christmas this year. I was the only I was the only vote for shepherd's pie. I showed it to Calvin. I showed him a picture of it, and he was like, "Meh, lasagna." So lasagna it is. That's what we're doing. Lasagna, just fine. Love lasagna. Very much enjoy lasagna. No need to overthink it. Um, it is the chicken pot pie that I make. I put in these ramekins, the like little guys. These are I don't know how many inches these are, but they are your standard sort of like deep deep ramekin. And just like layer the dough in there real thin and pre-bake the dough in here and then just fill it up and bake it real quick and it works really well. You can even make the dough ahead of time. Maybe that's really sweet. I love that. Um, Mixed together ricotta, the parmesan, the basil, the egg, the salt, and the pepper. So I need the basil, got basil here. Um, what do we, let me rinse my hands off. I've got cheese on them. Okay, better. Um, and then I know I need the mozzarella. When do I need the mozzarella? Later, but I need to process the mozzarella. So let's do that too while we're here. Okay, basil is what? Half a cup chopped fresh basil leaves, one large egg lightly beaten. Okay, so that's not a lot of basil. We're going to put probably a little more basil than what they call for. which is fine. Say chopped basil? Chopped. Okay, so not long slices. We want this to be like diced basil. Noted. Um, the only thing that I went out today to get is this basil because the basil that I had on the windowsill was looking um, like it would not be up to the task. And then Gwen watered it, and now it's back, and now I have all this basil. So I guess this is a good problem. Okay, this is going to be about half a cup. Yeah, let's go. Cut, 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 and cut, 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 cut this way. That's actually going to be just about half a cup. That's perfect. Okay. Almost. Not, um, not quite half a cup. More, more basil. Water, pasta water is boiling, so we'll turn that down a little bit. Now I just need Gwen to tell me when they are ready for dinner, and I will make them dinner in the midst of all of this. Because dinner is just going to be tortellini and sauce. Super easy dinner tonight. Not worth streaming. Oh yeah, proximity to the window. Yeah, the basil's like so temperamental. Basil's just like, nah, we're gonna die now. See ya. Oh, I looked good this morning, but like now I'm useless and limp. Basil is a man. Um, yeah, it's finicky. I looked at it today and I was like, we gotta go get some new basil, or else we're not gonna have any basil in this lasagna because I can't use this. It's like not useful, but it's back now. It like took a little nap. Okay, that is definitely half a cup. Okay, and the rest of this basil will just uh use this in our salad. This will keep, and then I'll have the rest of the stuff from the counter if it's decided to be useful in service at that moment. Um, Shana, that's amazing. And so this is like you're almost up to a year in that. Tomato plants that have done nothing. Yes, they're just protesting. Come on, grow. Why won't you grow? Okay, let me stir my sauce again back here so it doesn't get on. So keep it keep it moving. It's warm though. It's definitely warm. Okay. Sauce is good. Now the mozzarella is 1 pound whole milk mozzarella cheese. This is a pound. Shredded. Um, am I meant to shred this on a box grater? That's fascinating. What did I do with this last time? I think I just ripped this apart with my hands last time. Let's try to shred it on a box grater. That's what it's telling me. Let's find the box grater. There it is. Oh, I gotcha. Just seasonality. Well, I'm sure you'll have some different timing next year. It's always next year. Okay. Yes, shredding this on the box grater? Kind of weird. Okay. You have a chocolate Santa? Cal's saying hi. He's over here. Hanging out. He's been up in his room saying hi to mom. What are you guys up to? What are you doing now?
We're gonna go back up.
Go back up? Okay. Are you when are you going to be ready for dinner, Callie? It's 6 o'clock, 1800 hours right now. You don't know? Okay. Do you have any jokes you'd like to share? Got it, Gwen. Like right now? Gwen, are you ready like right now? Because I can throw those in and uh I can throw those tortellinis in and be ready in 10 minutes. Oh, okay. You didn't share that you're going to watch a movie. You just said you're going back up to your room. You didn't tell me.
I know. Mom said.
Fine.
Yeah, Mom said that in.
Oh, that chocolate smells good.
Mhm.
Okay.
One minute.
Do you want a chocolate? No, not quite, Shayna. I turned the water down a little bit. And I don't know what that was. I think it was just like I think it's just making like noise, steamy noise because it's a big pot of water. Calvin, do you have a joke that you'd like to tell?
I know. After I finish my sentence.
Okay.
Um.
Here, hold on. If you're talking, then you need to use the mic. There you go.
Then. Uh. When I stopped having media time, Mom said that if I could be um occupied without any attention for 1 hour, then um she would sit with me and watch a movie.
Oh, so mom said when you stopped having media
And I said,
time,
okay.
if you could occupy yourself without bothering her for an hour, that you guys could watch a movie.
No,
Sure.
just not needing her assistance.
Okay. That sounds like a good deal. Yeah, because Calvin had class virtually today. He had school today. It was pajama day.
Yeah.
Literally, it was supposed to be pajama day.
I'm still wearing my pajamas.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just pointing this towards your mouth.
Okay.
This is the actual microphone. See where the dots are, that little spot on the top?
Yeah, I have.
So he had class on the internet today and then moved from the internet to his iPad, from his iPad to the Switch, and has been pretty occupied with media time most of the day. So I think that's a fine deal. You got an hour away and then you get to watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Take that deal. Get some tortellini in it out of that. All right, joke time. Knock knock. Who's there?
Amory. I think. No. Amory.
Anne-Marie. Amory?
Yeah.
Who's there? Amory. Amory who?
Amory Christmas. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Um,
Oh, one more.
that's a fun. That's a fine one. Who's there?
Moose.
Amorous?
Amos. Amos.
Amos. Okay, Amos.
A mosquito bit me.
Amos who? A mosquito bit me.
A
Oh my gosh.
mosquito bit me.
That one's good.
Jokes.
That was a good one. I like that one. Okay. All right. I have to rotate this with Vinca in here. That was 30 minutes on my timer. Um, this is not solid in any capacity yet, but it's got little bubbles in it. So that's good. We want little bubbles. We want this to be it's going to be pretty liquidy when it's done. It needs to set. The whole thing needs to set for like 6 hours, let's say. Okay, let me finish mixing what I'm supposed to mix here. Then I'll toss the tortellini in. Then we'll make lasagna. Mix the ricotta, 1 cup of the Parmesan, the basil, The egg, 1 egg, lightly beaten. Got it. 1 egg. He's got Cal left his joke book up here. Love it. Okay, let me reset that oven for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay, 1 egg, lightly beaten. Okay. A little bit of egg here. Salt and pepper. Egg. How much salt? Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. It's probably about right. And a half a teaspoon of ground black. This will take a little longer, but that's okay. Okay. Now this lasagna, I'm just going to end up, when I'm finished assembling it, this is going straight into the fridge. So thinking ahead, I need to make some space in the fridge. Okay, that's good. Combine this with a fork until well combined and creamy. Set aside. Okay, so with a fork. Got it. Well combined and creamy. That sounds like great directions for a sauce. All right, we are combining. It's combining. All right, this is, in my professional opinion, well combined and creamy. Okay, so I've got ricotta, mozzarella. Let's put this egg back in and let me get them dinner going. Turn this boiler all the way up. And Shana, that's awesome. Uh, nice to have. It's oh my god, it's so satisfying to have like family and friends at like a local spot, a spot that you know really well because you're so comfortable. At least I am. When I have friends and family visit, and we're somewhere that I'm familiar with like that, I'm so much more relaxed. That sounds amazing. What a nice Friday night. Um, okay. Um, now we start to assemble. Yes. So I've got my ricotta, my mozzarella, my sauce, and my noodles. Sparse visits. That's a long time. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that you guys have stayed and have made that made that life there, made that work. That's awesome. Okay, here's what I need. I need to put this book here, put my keyboard here, and then I need my sauce. And let's move this pan over to the big burner, the boil burner, so we can get this sauce pasta going. Keep the state. Keep the state. Keep the state, lose the rest. Love it. Something must have clicked for you out there. Twinderella, welcome in. Gotcha. Okay. Um, Smear the entire bottom of a 13 by 9-inch baking dish with a quarter cup of the meat sauce, avoiding large chunks of meat. Got it. Okay. What you got?
Paint pen.
Calvin's back. Oh, this is just a regular pen. It's not a paint pen, but I appreciate you returning it to me nonetheless.
Okay.
It does seem longer than that.
Do you like it? This is what I've been
Oh, sweet.
doing.
Oh, I like how you're tracing all the outlines of everything. That looks really nice.
Thanks.
It looks good.
When I grow up,
Cinderella, what are you prepping today?
parent, parent, in December, I want to be an artist, and then uh, in the summer, I want to be an artist and do it at home. And in um, and when I usually go to school, when I usually go to school, like every day, exact same time,
Yeah.
things, I want to be a teacher. Then
You want to? Mm-mm. You want to be a teacher? Okay.
maybe at
Cool. That sounds fun. Cal wants to be a teacher when he grows up. Okay. Oh, got getting paged. Shane, it does seem longer. Perhaps you were chatting before follow you. That happens. I do that too every once in a while. I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't followed this person. I've been chatting for like weeks now. Okay, smear the entire bottom with a quarter cup of the meat sauce, avoiding large chunks. Place 3 noodles in the baking dish to create the first layer. Okay, so we've got 3 noodles in the baking dish. Drop 3 tablespoons of the ricotta mixture down the center of each noodle and level the domed mounds by pressing with the backside of a measuring spoon. Okay. Sometimes Twitch is, yeah, I've seen that happen too. Let's take a pause for a second and make some tortellini here. Give these guys some dinner because it's a little after 6. There's no like quick opening thing on here. That's kind of strange. Um, Turn her off. The heat is at the fan's house. Oh, making sofrito to bring? That sounds good. So you're doing all the prep for that, right? Like you're not, this isn't dinner tonight, right? Is this dinner tonight? Shana, these are just cheese. These are the family pack of tortellini from Wegmans. They're cheese tortellini. There is literally nothing special at all about this. They are they're a food. Ooh, hot water on my foot. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. We'll let those sit for a few minutes, drain, and then it'll be good. Let's give those let's give those 5 minutes. Just cheese though. Nothing wild. Um yeah, I like the cheese ones. I like the cheese because if I want to add meat, I'll add like a meat sauce. That's my like thought about it. Drop 3 tablespoons of the ricotta mixture down the center of each noodle. Okay, so here's where we're talking about recipes, right? Did they mean 3 tablespoons total? Like I'm assuming it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's way more than a tablespoon. That's a tablespoon. 5, 6, I'm just eyeing tablespoons here. I'm not measuring. I think this might be a tablespoon. Um, I don't know how many layers I'm supposed to make here. So let me read that before I move too much farther in with the volume of ricotta that I'm using. All right, this that feels like about a tablespoon for each. I'm gonna just press these down with my finger. It says to use a spoon. I know I could use a spatula for sure, but I'm just gonna do it this way, which is fine. Um, I do buy these on sale too, Shayna. This is part of the it comes in a two pack, like they call it a family pack. Um, I'm not measuring it per se, but I am trying not to use a lot of it because I want to make like multiple layers. Wait, it calls for 12 noodles. Three, six, nine. This is three layers of filling here. Um, level the dough mounds by pressing with the back of a measuring spoon. Got it. Sprinkle the layer evenly with 1 cup of the shredded mozzarella cheese. So, 1 cup. This is about a cup. It's about a cup. Yeah. So I think there's 4 layers in this actually, because if it says that it's supposed to have 4 cups of mozzarella, I think that's 1 cup per layer. Is this 5 pound poutine? Major Poker, welcome in. That's a lot of poutine. That sounds good. I'm spinning like a top because I'm looking for my towel. It's under the thing. New towel time. Um, 3 lasagnas at a time. I was thinking of making two. I was thinking of making two today, but I didn't. I held off. I was like, no. Um, other than weenies for snack. Hey, those are good too. A 5 pound poutine though is no joke. Okay, these tortellinis are good. Let's get these drained off and sauce. 2 towels. Yeah. I usually have at least one or two on the counter. I have the like wipe the counter towel, wipe the hands towel, and then the like wipe the utensils towel. But they kind of get interchanged together after a while. That happens. All right, I am clearing out my sink so I can drain my pasta here, and all right, sink is clear. Pasta is definitely done. The cooking, I find that the one that I love, my favorite towel though, because I have a favorite towel, is the one that lives under the cutting board, which is wet, and that's like the last thing to get cleaned up, and that's the towel that I wipe the counter off with. Yeah, exactly, Shayna. It's like, well, I might have wiped something on you that I shouldn't have wiped on you, so you now are like level two. You're no longer in the clean class of towels. Popcorn chicken sounds great. I'm assuming you're meaning like the breaded chicken. Okay. Yeah, Shayna, I bet you go through chicken like crazy. The sauce for today is Rao's homemade marinara, especially now that I know Canara. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of food and drink streamers who stream during the daytime, Canara streams end of sort of midday Pacific time. It is a good sauce. I really like Rao's. I'm a fan of their products in general. Okay. Tortellini is in, and let's give this a stir. Get this all tortellini'd out here. Okay. Sauce is definitely hot. I'm Ron. I can never join. Yeah, it's really I love Canara's broadcast. I find that it's hard. I love when I can get in and actually watch it because it's I find that she streams at the time that I am picking Calvin up from school most days, and then I'm coming in and like getting myself set up and like I don't watch streams in the afternoon after like 3 o'clock. So I love when I do get the chance to catch her stream though, and I watch the VOD sometimes. Homemade chicken noodle soup. That sounds fantastic, Major Burger. Poutine, poutine for Christmas dinner, chicken noodle soup on a Friday night. That's great. What kind of noodles? Um, okay, hold on. Tortellini's finished, so let's get some bowls of this together. I hope it's finished. I didn't even try it. Feels like it's finished. Okay, tortellini. This is the easiest dinner I've made in a long time. Okay, and we're done. This is dinner. Look at that. Hey, amazing. Just kidding. JK. Um, egg noodles. Perfect. Love it. I love an egg noodle. I find that like noodle soup, the best noodles are the big wide ones. Egg noodles for sure. I also really like orzo in noodle soup. Okay. These guys love their cheese, their Parmesan. So okay, this is the for real end of the dish. This is what we're eating today. This is dinner. I'll be right back. Let me give this to the hungry mob downstairs. Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Then.
Dinner's here, friends, with enough cheese that you shouldn't breathe in too deeply around it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Oh, fun movie. What a good Christmas movie. Okay. Can you just keep it can you just keep it at a reasonable volume, please? Thank you. All right, cool. I love oh, sorry. Um I love a good little thing of tortellini. What a nice comfort food. The closed captioning is terrible at lunch and work is always hectic. It's work this time of year is brutal. I like finished today and was like, peace, I'm done. Um, the egg noodles for sure hold up the freezing. That's one of the best parts about them. They also cook really quickly, so if you don't have a need to put them in right away and you can like reheat your soup later, it's perfect. Hangover soup for tomorrow. Yes. Good to get yourself prepared. I like that. I can support that. Okay. Sprinkle the layer with the cup of the shredded mozzarella. Spoon 1.5 cups of the meat sauce evenly over the cheese. Okay. I am trying to measure this out because I don't want to get caught short missing some ingredients. All right, 1.5 cups of the meat sauce. Okay. 1.5. All right. This is good. We like this. Um, Shayna, is that part of the dinner time activities? You guys put a few away and hopefully that's a good experience with the family. Some people when they're drinking with their family get yeah, sometimes it's not a good look. Warming up sounds great. Repeat the layering of noodles, ricotta, mozzarella, and sauce 2 more times. Okay, got it. Spending a lot of drinking quite a bit, but I've also been spending time with your niece. Okay. That makes sense. 2, 3. And you know what I'm actually going to do? I know these noodles expand, but I got a second. I have another box of noodles in here somewhere, and I think is already open. And if I do, I'm going to crack that and use that to put. Oh, I do. Look at that. I'm going to crack some of these and use them to put in the sides because these don't quite fit the width of the pan. And um, that way we'll have like noodles from side to side. Perfect. I should have done that on the bottom layer, but we'll start now. Okay, so a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that I know how many layers I'm doing, I'm going to be a little bit less precise with the measuring on the ricotta side of things, at least for this layer. I'll probably get neurotic about it again in the next layer when I look like I'm going to run out. Okay, these get pressed, flattened. Off of mozzarella. Okay, Shayna, that's good. Families that can do that together, I find it's always fascinating to me. It's a good thing. It is quite a bit quite a big part of American culture. So it's nice when you can do that with and not like walk away feeling angry. Okay. So cup and a half of sauce. Got 1 cup and 1/2. Nice. So spread that out just a little bit. That's great, Major Broker. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. That's nice to hear. Leo's a day apart? That's intense. That's intense. Um, 11 to 19. Okay. All boy, Shayna, all boys. What a stinky house when they're of a certain age, huh? Uh, 11 to 19. Okay. It's a good age. It's a nice age to like try to make a connection. I think kids of that age are very delicate around connections. Okay. Maybe delicate's the wrong word. Kids that age are looking to be accepted because they're going through so much change. Okay. That should be good. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, ooh, that's a huge gap. I'll take the 2-year-old too. Oh no, that's intense. That's intense. That's a little much. Okay. Um, where am I at in my recipe here? Place 3 remaining noodles on top of the sauce. Okay, so I'm basically like just continuing to do what I'm doing here. And a little more sauce, cup and a half. Just about. All right. This is good. This is looking thick, which you'll love. I love a thick lasagna. Hubert Adams. Baby Joe for sure. Kids are great at especially at that age because they're like right they're still at the age where you can just like mess with them. I don't mean that in like a bad way, but I mean you can still mess with them. They're kids. So they're not talking back to you quite yet. Not in that way. Okay. Place the three remaining noodles. Okay, so I have this last layer, which is good. I've got a little bit of ricotta left. I have less ricotta than I think I would want for this layer, but that's fine. Uh, that's fine. I used more of it on the inside, and that's okay. Hold on. Let's spread this out. I want to actually break up some other noodles here too. I forgot to do that. Um, how many nieces and nephews do you have, Major Poker? That sounds like you have a couple, you said ranging in age. It's nice to try to connect with other kids in the family like that. I know I can tell you from the parents' perspective that they appreciate it. I appreciate when anybody connects with Calvin in a way that feels meaningful and intentional. Okay, a little bit more mozzarella in this layer. I want to save some mozzarella for the top, so I need to go a little bit lighter here. This last this last layer is going to be the one the one that I just put on is going to be the one that's a little light, and that's okay. Okay, the last thing is three more pieces. One, two, three. Okay. Place the remaining sauce over the noodles. Sprinkle with the remaining mozzarella. And then with the remaining Parmesan. Okay. Got it. Yeah, man. Red Lobster. Oh man, Red Lobster when I was a kid was like a fancy restaurant, right? Like Red Lobster is like pricey. You're like you had to be doing something special to go to Red Lobster. So I bet you that that was a special thing for them. I bet they felt special. That's super cool. Yeah, Red Lobster was the fancy place. Friendly's was the like we just need food place. And as it turns out, I don't need that Parmesan that I shredded and saved for tomorrow. I need it for today. So we'll just get that right back out. I was also supposed to put the rest of the sauce on top of this. Yikes. Can you put that on your taxes or no? Let's rest of the sauce. Perfect. Okay. Wow. This all fit perfectly. It's like it was made to go in a 13 by 9 pan. Can you even imagine? Okay. Love it. My oven needed to be. Oh wait, no, I still have a Babinka in here. Chill out on that, Luke. You got, you need to calm down. Start turning the oven up when they start something literally baking in it that says it has 30 seconds left. Um, Shayna, that's wild. We didn't eat out a lot as a kid, but we definitely had food. I remember like McDonald's, and then we would eat out. We would get carry out, I think, more than we would eat out, but we would still go out to eat. That definitely has to be a highlight of your childhood then. Major poker. That is, Shannon, I will echo that sentiment. That is incredibly generous. All right. This guy is, ooh, splashing everywhere. That's what this guy's doing. This is looking good. We are ready. The Babinka timer just went off, so I'm going to go check that in just a moment here. This is lightly spray a large sheet of foil with nonstick cooking spray and cover the lasagna. Okay. I'm not going to do that with the foil. What I am going to do is cover this in plastic. Cover this in plastic and put this in the refrigerator. That is step next. I'm going to check that babinka and see if that's ready to come out or if it needs another minute or so, or a couple. And then I was going to turn the oven up because I know I need the oven to be hotter for the pecan cookies. Shana, that's nice that you were around cooking though. I appreciate that. I don't think my mom enjoyed cooking when I was a child. I will say that. I don't think it was a joy for her. She did it, but it wasn't like, oh, let's get in the kitchen and like make a complicated meal. So I'm not sure exactly where I got that from. I know my dad for sure, but kind of grew into it later. Okay, lasagna is in the fridge, resting. So that is just going to sit in the fridge for 2 days, just as I put it together. And on Sunday, we're just going to put that in the oven. Um, that'll be easy peasy. That was the goal. Major poker. That's a really good. It's a really good way to look at it. It makes the investment feel more worthwhile, I would imagine. Um, okay. We clear off. I'm just clearing the counter of stuff that's not cookie related. Um, whoa, I love cooking too. Huge prep and freezer stuff. Yeah, Shana, I think I I like cooking. I like cooking like dinners, right? Obviously, it's something I enjoy. But I think if I had more than one kid, it would be more like exactly what you're describing, like lots of prep. Like this stream would probably be like 4 hours on a Sunday instead of like 2 hours in a weeknight. And I would be prepping, like just prep, prep, prep. Oh, that's great. Major cooker. That's fantastic. It's nice when someone like helps you to root into something like that. Like, hey, this is a thing that you seem to enjoy. Did you know you can do this forever? Please enjoy. All right. So my cookie dough is on the counter here. This is going to be the last thing, but the babinka I need to check on first. So let's do that. Whoa, that's puffed. That's puffed. That smells amazing. 2 pounds of meat and pasta every night. Yeah, that's just like triage. You're just like trying to throw food at them fast enough. Queen of 30-minute meals. I believe it. If we had a bigger family to feed, I would certainly be more inclined to do a lot more things like that. And I have that. Like I can definitely do that. I could make, instant pot meals. I could make um, freezer meals. I could definitely make more 30-minute stuff. I'm certainly capable of it, but I am fortunate that I enjoy the cooking aspect and I have like just the right window of time in the evening where it makes sense to like do the dinner every day or most days. But see for reference, tortellini. Um, Firm to the touch in the center and light golden brown around the edge. Okay. Um, Light golden brown. Okay, it is solid in the center for sure. I can touch the center of it. So that's thing number one. Light golden brown around the edge. Okay. That is all right. Um, I left this in here. It says 55 to 60 minutes. I put it in for 60. So it's going to be just, it's just ready. It's not quite the light golden brown around the edge. So maybe I'll give it like 4 more minutes, right? And just see what happens. Major Poker, thank you for the follow. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to turn that oven up. I'm going to give this 4 minutes and I'm going to turn the oven up to what I need it to be for the cookies. That'll put a little bit more heat in it and it'll be nice and ready to go. Okay, so let's just wait until that is done and then I need to put that on a wire rack, right? Wrap the pan, no, remove from the oven, cool completely in the pan on a wire rack, completely. Wrap the pan in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 6 hours or overnight to set. Okay, so let's get our, I'm going to need multiple wire racks, so let's get all of them out at once. Okay, don't need this knife. All right, and that can cool over here. Cookies are going to be on trays. Do I need to use prepared baking sheets, lined baking sheets with parchment paper? I'm going to use the sheet pans with the silicone pastry mats on them. I'm not going to use parchment paper. Using a large cookie scoop, divide the dough into 3 tablespoon sized balls. Well, this is a 3 tablespoon scoop, so that is lucky. And leaving 3 inches between, pecan half on the top of each ball. Okay, got it. Easy, easy. I need my pecans though, because I want to do that. I want to put the fancy little pecan on the top for sure. Okay, let's get my baking sheets out. I'm going to use the half sheet pans and do. Should I use sheet pans? No, let's use the big sheet pans because then I can cook all of them at once. And my pastry mats for these are under here somewhere. Where are they? There's one. There's the other one. Oh, it's all the way back here. Oh my gosh. Okay, got it. We'll use the big pans because they're fun. And I don't get to use these big pans very often. And if these are supposed to be big cookies, then we'll use the big pans so they can spread out real wide. Okay. Just a few more minutes, another minute on that babinka in the oven, and we're good to go. Do I need to preheat these pans? I don't believe so. No. Okay. So, um, Shayna, good luck with your dinner tonight. Have fun. If I don't before you leave, one, enjoy your prep time, enjoy the dinner, enjoy the family time. I hope it's good. I hope you guys are safe and having all of the fun. Merry Christmas, for sure. if I don't see you before you leave, we'll see you probably next week. Okay, I've got my cookies out. They're at a good temperature. Babinka alarm is going off, so Babinka is done. Got good timing today. This is like a perfect timing. So this is the final thing. It is obviously very hot, but it's puffed up. Like you can see how high that came up in the pan. It's solid. It's very solid. It's not really like I'm kind of moving it. It's not liquidy. There's no jiggle to it at all. Um, Man doesn't drink anyway. Perfect. I love that. Walking distance. That's why I love living in the city because I can just walk to places, and even though I don't drink, it is nice getting home afterward from somewhere that you've walked to. Okay, good. Cookies. Rubinka is over here cooling. That's just going to cool. That's going to be there. It's fine. We need cookie dough. So, should I just use this? Can I just scoop it right out of here? Yeah, I can. Perfect. All right. So this is what we're doing for cookies. We're going to do a scoop, a roll, and a sheet. So right like that, we got one cookie. So let's roll out as many of these as we can. The recipe says it makes 16. So I don't know how many we're going to get. Hopefully at least 16. I'm going to try to keep these relatively the same size. All right. This dough is perfect to work with. I said yesterday that I was going to try to put these back in the freezer between when I got them out and roll them and when I would actually cook them. But I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to let them go as they are. That recommendation was so that they get a little bit older and they would be chewier. But I think I just want to get these cooked. I'm going to put 6 of these on a tray. And they only bake for 10 minutes. So they're pretty quick. Bake one tray at a time in a preheated oven, 10 to 11 minutes. If any edges spread out while baking, use a spatula and gently press them back in as soon as you remove the cookies from the oven. I don't understand what they mean by that, but pressing a pecan half in the middle of each of these, as suggested. Okay, so these look good. Let's get these in the oven.